I hope this report can fill you in on what Together for Hope has been doing since the beginning of this year. I know I haven't talked to you guys in a while. I think it's probably been last year since we've actually been able to meet with Ministries Council. But let me fill you in on what Together for Hope's been doing, give you a report. We have been able to hire full-time staff just before COVID happened. We were working on this at the end of last year. We have secured funding for 3 full-time regional vice presidents. That grant was $270,000 from the Ball Family Foundation. And those regions are the Delta, the Black Belt, and Appalachia, with L. Nicole Stringfellow, Rachel Gunner Shepard, and Keith Stillwell. So we've been able to get another grant. Linda was already full-time, but with this new grant, we've been able to bring Rachel and Keith on full-time just before COVID hit. They actually started in March, and as they started their full-time work, so did our new life in COVID work. So in Appalachia, Keith, he's developed a network of practitioners, church leaders, value partners throughout Appalachia. He leads monthly Zoom meetings with these leaders across the region. And just before all this happened, Keith and I built a relationship with Appalachian Service Project to create a memorandum of understanding between our organizations to address housing issues in Kentucky and West Virginia. Keith's been renewing potential work in Nada, Kentucky at the Nada Mission. He helped Scarlett Jasper with Extreme Build, and he continues to promote Bridges of Hope in Bluefield, Virginia, West Virginia, which is an organization we helped found. In the Black Belt, Rachel is going strong. She's hosting monthly webinars for our region, for her region, but open it up to everybody else, which is really exciting. The first one was led by Dr. Melissa Browning, which helped our practitioners kind of understand assets-based community development. And then just tomorrow, on September 15th, it'll feature Harold Tessendorf, a founder of the Tessendorf Counseling Group to address rural housing challenges and opportunities. She's also started work in Americus, Georgia with Pastor Wendy Peacock at Friendship Baptist Church. And she's also developed a blueprint for a free library kit for churches to build these small little libraries that you kind of bring books and take books, and we'll send these to rural areas. And she's also leading the charge in Florida for educational advocacy work, where will become a model for Together for Hope practitioners in advocacy efforts across the country. And then in the Delta, the shifts within COVID work have been pretty profound. Linda Stringfellow leads Together for Hope Delta, and she's already brought in 5 new organizations. That's right. So Delta Hands for Hope is our hallmark, but now we have 5 additional organizations that are part of Together for Hope. In the Delta, she's overseen over $60,000 of food delivery across 37 organizations that reached over 3,600 families in the Mississippi Delta. And that does not include Delta Hands for Hope. That's in addition to the work Delta Hands for Hope is doing. She's received over $50,000 of grants due to her work with COVID-19. This chart says $24,500, but that's only through July. She's secured more than that since then. And then Linda and I co-wrote a grant with the American Heart Association to run a campaign to increase SNAP benefits in Mississippi. We've received $198,000 from Voices for Healthy Kids to do this. We've already started planning the campaign and hopefully create a model for our other states and ethnogeographies within Together for Hope. Delta Hands for Hope themselves, they've also received over $50,000 of grants during COVID work. And they're providing family food boxes, dairy boxes, meat boxes, and grab-and-go meals for kids every day. Some of you may have learned that Mark Boswell has resigned from Together for Hope, Louisiana, so that position is underway. The work continues to happen in the Valley. Jorge Zapata, what Linda means to the Delta is what he means to that whole region. So Jorge does incredible, thousands of pounds of food he's overseen in the delivery process. And then many of you know that Diane Berry also retired from down in the valley. So a lot of transitions right now in Together for Hope. The other really big thing was the Shepherd Higher Education Consortium on Poverty. We had a handful of interns, virtual interns, and due to the success of their internship with us, SHEP will have a cohort every summer to work with us and develop a rural cohort in the Mississippi Delta. So our VPs and leadership team will have virtual interns, and then they're going to start another one there in the Delta. I supervise Yuan Liu and PJ Slattery, both from Washington Lee. They did research on poverty institutes for me. PJ in particular worked with CDFIs, and they both worked on our database. Rachel Gunner Shepard supervised Zoria McAnuff from Juniata College, and Zoria worked primarily with Sowing Seeds for Hope and helped them do COVID-19 safeguard programming. L. Nicole Stringfellow worked with Michaela Williams from the University of Vermont, who did Hope Talks, which were these great, kind of like Shark Tank. They did Hope Tanks where nonprofits kind of said, this is who we are, and then they found folks who wanted to help them get that. And then Keith Stillwell supervised Will Kammerer from University of Wisconsin-Madison, who helped with advocacy and partnership development. Finally, Together for Hope will have an annual meeting virtually in conjunction with Christian Community Development Association. We'll work with them and have a master's class for rural practitioners. We'll have a networking session for all of our rural practitioners, and I'll also participate in a panel discussion around having difficult conversations in American culture. This continues to be a really exciting thing for CCDA and Together for Hope in this kind of mutual beneficial MOU.